Welcome to the Museum of Aquarium and Pet History. We're getting very close to our 100th 5-minute video, which I think is coming up next week. So that's going to be pretty cool. I got something really spectacular for you guys. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Excuse my little frog in my throat here. I had a little bit of asthma trouble lately, so I've been working through that. But I will get through this. Okay, so the last couple of weeks we've gotten a bunch of comments on things that we have shown you, especially the French Wood and Wire Birdcage. So I just want to tell you, I took it to Rick because it was missing a piece of wood, so you couldn't clip the door. He put the wood in there. Then I took it to Lynn, both restorers for the museum. Lynn did gesso on the wood because it needed gesso to make it like this, and then she painted it the exact same color. So it really is a spectacular cage. It is French. It's 1850s or before, easily. Some of the comments we got are, I so wish we could have seen a close-up of that beautiful, intricate cage. So yes, we'll do a close-up at the end of the video. Not going to lie, but I was kind of hoping for a huge aquarium to come out of the box, but the bird cage was beautiful. Thank you. Another one is, it's ludicrous to think that would be used for housing an actual animal, much less a bird. Could it have been for decorative or display taxidermy or ceramic replicas? No, it was for a bird. Back in the 1850s, they didn't have television, internet, computers. They didn't even have cars. So canaries were really popular, and women that stayed home and cooked all day wanted a living jukebox, which was a male singing canary. So most of the time these would have been for canaries, which is a fairly small bird. And when the kids got back from working on the farm all day or whatnot, they would take the bird out and probably just let it fly around the room. I'm sure of that. So the bird was never confined to the cage all the time. I'm sure he was taken out quite a few times. In fact, I have plenty of photographs showing people taking the bird outside of their cage. And when it comes to parakeets and small parrots and large parrots, they clip the wings so they can finger tame them and get them more they can bond more with humans, sort of imprint, as so to speak. So I know some people say, oh, that's so cruel. Well, we clipped dozens and dozens of wings when I worked in pet shops. We never had one issue, not one bleeder, nothing. It's like clipping your fingernails. It's the exact same thing. What is the value of this amazing piece? Well, we paid $400 for it out of France, and that included shipping, actually. I couldn't believe the shipping was so cheap. But with Rick and Lynn, there's another couple $100. So it was about $600 all in all, everything, which is really a good price for something so beautiful. So that is that cage. Now, again, when we talk about small cages, I just want to show the person that talked about, that can't possibly be used for a bird. These were the most popular cages in the 1800s for a single canary. So you can see how small they are. But again, the birds would come out of these cages. Now, this cage is an Osborn for my birdcage friends. I did a lot of research on this to find this cage, and this is a very early Osborn, 1860s to 1870s. This one, I don't have a clue. I thought it might be a Jewett & Sons, or possibly a Hendryx, or a Heinz in Manchester, but no. None of them have a dowel top like this. So this one is perplexing. I'm going to have to keep doing some more research on this one. The little 50 you might have seen on that tag, that's the number in the inventory. It's not the price of the cage. And this was for a piece of cuttlebone that they would put in here, a small piece, and the bird would chew on it for his beak. So those are two smaller cages just to show you how small the cages really can get. I also had one of the birdcage people ask me about this cage. She wanted to know who made it. This was made by Hendryx, and this was made in 1891. It's in their 1891 catalog, so in the 1890s. And you can tell when it's Victorian because of this little decorative thing right here, because Hendryx continued to make this cage probably up until about 1910, 1915, but they left off this decorative element. So when I see this kind of thing, I'm thinking Victorian right off the bat, and I was right, 1891, and Hendryx. I was surprised it was a Hendryx. I thought possibly a Lindemann or an Osborn, but nope, it is a Hendryx. Then on my little travels recently, I went to the American Cichlid Association and in Texas. They have it in a different state every year. and I got to do a little antiquing. And I went into a store and I asked the woman, I said, do you have any antique aquariums or any rare bird cages? And she pointed up to the top above a display case, and this was sitting up there. So this, I've had to do a little bit of work on the tray. Somebody had done an amateur hour restoration on the tray. It wasn't very good, so we had to redo that. The clips were okay, but it was missing these. So these are the little rotating feeders, and you put there's a little ceramic cup, or probably ceramic, not milk glass, cup that went in there, and then it clips, and that's how you fed the bird. There's your door on this side. It's very ornate. It's very French. Yes, this is a French cage. I've noticed one thing about French cages, they put the feeders higher. The American cages put the feeders down here, and most of the decorative French cages I see put the feeders up here. So I'm not sure quite why. Well, maybe we'll find out later. But it is a pretty spectacular cage. And I was excited to find it. And the person that owned this antique shop, the owner actually went to Europe quite a few times to do buying or picking. So I knew it was European and it was not American. And then, where are we at, Meredith?
We're a little over. You're at 7.
At 7? Oh, okay. Well, if we're at 7 minutes, then I got to cut it for this week. But you guys, thank you so much for coming. You know what? I'm going to show you one more thing. I got to show you one more thing. So when I was in Texas, I found this fishbowl stand, and I bought it because I thought it would take this large 5-gallon bowl that I had, but alas, it didn't. It took a 3-gallon bowl. So if Meredith wants to turn the camera, I will show you the stand after we've restored it, and I'll show you a picture of it before it was restored. But this stand was in terrible condition. We did all the restoration. We figured out what the original paint was. These were all missing, so we added these back to it. I added the light bulbs back to it, and it did not have the fishbowl, but I did have a wavy glass bow front fishbowl, which is what fit this leaf pattern cradle. This is 1930s. The bowl was made about 1928 by Gillander Brothers. The stand, not sure who made the stand. Probably later date, we'll figure it out. We don't know right now. But we do know these stands were made a little bit later, about 1930 to 1932. All right, so I just want to show you something fish related because I didn't want to go all bird on you. But I hope you enjoyed it. And again, I'll see you next week.